Hello friends, my name is Dr. Uma Hassan and let's have a discussion on very important topic economic anthropology and anthropology optional syllabus. Now how do we have to study this particular topic? I would say that nowadays UPSC is not directly forming questions from this topic. For instance, last year we have got a question that with respect to globalization, and they have asked particularly from the perspective of Arjun Apudrai. Arjun Apudrai is leading political, you can say political and economical, social, anthropological perspective. Say he always writing. Okay, so he's a leading anthropologist definitely when he had written a work on globalization. So we do have to understand approach whensoever we are preparing ourselves. Now, as I have said, that you do have to identify some topics. Okay. Now here you can say on my board I have written. We have got the first topic, that is economic anthropology. That is your first subtopic within this topic 3. So you may can get question on meaning, scope and relevance of anthropology. Now here in economic anthropology, anthropologists are looking into household management. Now if you will see traditionally, Adam Smith in his work The Great Wealth, he has explained wealth of nation actually. He has explained that how economy is about labor, it is about market, okay, and it is about land. So he has given that important perspective. Now what we are discussing in economic anthropology, you would say particularly after 1950s, Carl Polanyi ke work said that got initiated, that how do we have to use substantivist approach. Even though we are talking about economical activities, it seems to us that we should use logical rationality to understand how economy is working. But Carl Polanyi is making this important argument that we do have to consider substantivist approach as well. It means that cultural values play significant role in our economy. So this is something we do have to write in the relevance of economic anthropology. After that, you are getting direct question on formalistic and substantivist approach. Then you are getting question on medium of exchange, medium of distribution, such as redistribution, reciprocity. Okay, and this is what I was just explaining. So basically, when we are talking about economic anthropology, we are talking about systems of exchange, and we do have Marxist understanding. Okay, that how Karl Marx is talking about that he was an evolutionist, and then he said that to understand economical institution, we have to understand how mode of production is evolving and changing. Whensoever mode of production is going to change, it is going to change social relations as well. Now, Karl Marx is bringing important point that your relation of production is important, and that is really significant for us to understand conflict. So you may come from those class who are holding the means of production, that means you are owner, okay, or you may be belonging to that particular class where you are selling your labor, so have not. So it's a conflict between, clash of interest between have and have not. Now what have I done? I've just explained to all of you about economic anthropology, how it is so very important for all of us to understand that it is just not the formalistic approach we have to apply. Then you need to see that anthropology, and by the work of Malinowski, who had a red kula ring ceremony, or you have potlatch ceremony. Potlatch ceremony is again reflecting that how in some tribal communities it is so not very important to hold the wealth. Concentration of wealth is not important, rather they are destroying their wealth in order to have honor, in order to have prestige. So to have honor, to have dignity, they are not accumulating it, they are not planning or strategizing it, so that this money is not going to revolve, or it's not going to go from one place. It should not remain into the one place. So concentration of wealth is rejected. Now, economic anthropology is only looking that how we do have different dimensions, right? How do we have different dimension? How we are, how we do have medium of exchanges, right? So different types of medium of exchanges we have. For example, I can show you in my notes. So this is mode of subsistence, right? So hunting and gathering, fishing, sweetening, pastoralism, horticulture and agriculture. Now UPSC is trying to understand that how do we have in-depth understanding. We cannot just simply write about hunter and gatherer in a general manner. Definitely when we are writing for anthropology, we do have to write case studies, right? So this is, you can see how I have made my points. I am talking about food gathering tribes, and this is what important. Okay, you cannot just simply explain hunter and gatherer society from your civil servant vast oceans, you know, that you people have knowledge. You do not have to write that. You do not have to write in general manner. Do remember, we are writing for economic anthropology, so you should start to the point, because you probably going to get for 150 words ka question, you are going to get for the 10 marks, right? So you can say food gathering tribes, we have the Brior, the Karia, the Chenchu, okay, all these tribes, and then you can tell about hunting tribes, okay, then you can explain some more information, small populations, then you are also telling about political system. As I have said, that integrated approach is there. You are not only talking about economy, but you are also considering political dimension, religious dimensions, etc. Okay, so this is how you people should write about this. Then see, you can see I am talking about division of labor, and when we are talking about economy, we are very much concerned about production. Okay, we are concerned about distribution, we are concerned about consumption. So these are some important factors when we are understanding, reflecting on economical activities. I hope you people are getting benefit from my videos. Thank you.